What's going on, Pisces? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for the month of May 2023. So in this reading, Pisces, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month of May. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more, Pisces, regarding May 2023. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment, Pisces, to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading happens to resonate with you, Pisces, definitely smash that like button and subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. Would also really appreciate that, Pisces, over here on this end. But without further ado, let's go ahead and pull the energy and see what wants to come through. And there's a reason why I saved the Pisces readings for last, because I feel like I'm being bathed in there's something that I don't even understand why I have to do these last. So thank you for your patience, but let's go ahead and see what we got going on. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Pisces. Some of you got to really cut the smoking. Just got that randomly. Because you're good right now, but if you don't stop smoking, you're going to regret it later. Just got that little wink from the universe for some of you. Oh my God. You know what's crazy, Pisces? I don't drink alcohol unless it's 1 or 2 times a year. And I literally just smelled beer. Because I guess we're on the theme, Spirit's just going to be on the theme. Some of you need to stop drinking too, and maybe drinking and smoking goes along with, for some of you, not all of you obviously, but some of you, that's your demon, that's your one thing, but not for all of you, so let's keep it popping. Yo, hello, fly shitting on my head. All right, interesting reading for you, Pisces. I really feel like you're going to have a great month here, believe it or not. Okay, but there's some things that we got to work through. So let's go ahead and start this reading off, Pisces, with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe, some messages from the universe for you, Pisces, for May. The first energy you have is beyond the mind, the heart beats. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. And so really this is about addressing the conflict that you're now experiencing between your head, between your mind, and your heart. Right? The mind thinks, it analyzes, it tries to figure out the right decision based off logic. The heart feels, the heart knows, the heart does not use language. It feels, knows, and it intuits based off feeling. Okay? It's indescribable. I can't really speak to you what the heart does. But right now what I can tell you is there's a conflict between your head and your heart. And there's been many times that this has happened to me. There probably will be times that this happens in the future for me again, in minimal ways or in maximal ways. But to give you an example about what could be happening for you right now, one of the biggest time in my life where my heart was at odds with my head was when I had to make the decision, do I kind of just stay in college or do I drop out? And my mind and even people around me with their mind, I was seeking advice from, classmates, and I was like, my heart was telling me drop out, bro. If you go down this lifeline, it's really not going to be good for you. You're going to start drinking. You're going to basically develop all these addictions because you're living a life that you need to cope with instead of a life that feels good. And my heart was telling me that, but my head was like, no, bro, you're going to be way worse off if you drop out. What are you going to do? Go work at Stop and Shop, which I actually did. And there was people around with the mind that were telling me like, hey dude, like if you go out into those streets, like you're gonna get smashed, like down, and like there was just all these mental things, but my heart wasn't telling me that. And there was just people like, hey dude, like even classmates that I confided in, they're like, dude, like you're gonna get like smashed out there in the real world. And I was like, and like now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, smash me, mate. I'm right here. Like it's just, the heart knows you're not gonna get smashed, but the mind thinks you will. So no matter who you are, you need to make a lifestyle change that makes you stop having a life that you need to keep coping with, that you need to have addictions to get by, and you need to create a life that feels so good that you don't need it anymore. Maybe you still do it from time to time like me. I mean, I'm drinking a Red Bull right now. I mean, that's an energy drink. So it's not as bad, but I still have my stuff. Like I want to make this very clear. The mind and the heart will be at odds through many times of your life on a micro scale. I was just bringing you back to the maximum, the macro, because I feel like a lot of you are dealing with the macro. But when we deal with the micro, it could be things around relationship. The heart, Pisces. Listen to your heart when it's calling for you. Listen to your heart, Pisces. I know you can. Okay. You know, I can sing if I wanted to, but my mind doesn't. Okay, this is actually another example. I have a gift for music, but my mind always tells me, no, dude, like don't do it. My heart's like, mystic. You have seeing the true you. So the message from the universe for May 2023, Pisces, is seeing the true you. And what this oracle card really asks you to do, Pisces, is to not let people get in your head about who you are. And the example that I'm like given, there could be like teammates that you have, or there could be people around you who like literally have a really inaccurate reflection of you in terms of your place in the greater universe. So they look at you and they're like, dumbass, or they're like, yeah, well, they don't have any concrete thoughts, like they're drifting, like they're the artist type, or like they're a little bit aloof, they don't really care, and they don't know what you're dealing with. They have not walked one day in your shoes, Pisces. And so there's like, don't let anyone, like, once again, who's stuck in the mind, who's trying to label you. This even goes back to like things like autism, like with me. I mean, even when we look at people who are more severe, like way more severe on the spectrum, who are like nonverbal, don't make the mistake of that just because on the outside they're not speaking, or on the outside they may look like there's something really off with them. Don't make the mistake that there's nothing going on the inside. And that's what people are making. People are making the mistake with you that like, oh, like, they're a little they're a little bit off, but you're not off. You're just you. Okay, and so I've actually worked with like many clients who came to me because of my name with nonverbal autistic children. And the one thing that I did a reading on it. The first thing that came through was, hey, like as the parent, like the parent was talking to the nonverbal autistic kid as if like they were not like actually having this very complicated, conscious, totally real internal like self, and they were talking to them as if they were like a dog, and like they were talking to them as if like, hey, do you want this now? And like what came through in the reading was like, dude, like don't talk to them like that. Like talk to them normal. Like just because you're not seeing a response doesn't mean that they're not capable of fully understanding what you're saying. And something that pisses me off. This is my karma, this is my destiny to do some of this work. But the same thing is happening for you. Okay, people could label you ADHD, you know, Pisces, stupid, and it's like, please, fuck off. you might just, or don't even like get angry. Just be like, okay, like, well, I'm not gonna internalize what that person thinks about me because they're not me. Simple as that. Okay. You also have trust yourself, and this is really just in alignment with what we're saying, Pisces. Seeing the true you and trust yourself. You know, this is with the true you. This is your heart. You see all that beauty around that face, like all this is going on in your head 24/7. You're making connections. You're seeing things that people have no idea about, and they really have no business knowing about it. Just as from a higher perspective, you have no business about knowing why they label you as whatever. Or they label you as, oh, Pisces is this or Pisces is that. Now, this is a sub-message for some of you, because some of you, even though you're a Pisces, you may not be having that exact problem, but it is somehow all connected to you. So apply it to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as always. Now, let's get into the tarot. In your opportunity this month, Pisces, you have the Nine of Wands. Okay? The Nine of Wands here is dealing with some sort of unfinished business or some sort of wounding that is coming up for you this month. So there's an opportunity for you to deal with something that's been bothering you for a long time. Things have been left unsaid. It's like a lingering thing that you've been ignoring, perhaps, and you know that you have to deal with it down the road, but you're like, let's just run away from that demon. For a lot of you, this definitely does have to do with the escapism and like living a life from your mind, but then your heart is suffering, and because you live your life from your mind, not only do you have no power to manifest, because in order to manifest what you want, you need to unite the heart and the mind, okay? But you're also going to have to adopt coping mechanisms because it's not the true you. So for some of you, what I really want you to understand is the power of linking the head and the heart. If you do that, you can move mountains, and you tune into what is called your soul, okay? We'll get into it if it comes up again. But you have the Six of Swords in your challenge here, Pisces. So for a lot of you, there's a challenge around, I'm getting physical movement. A lot of you, you're going to start feeling in May like, wow, I can't live here anymore, or I got to change my home, but then I don't have a job there, so how am I going to do that? Or like finding an alternative way to do something, even if you do. Like the Six of Swords in your challenge is there's a challenge to move on from something. Some of you may be traveling away from people who are no longer good for you. Or some of you there's just some sort of movement to start a new career. Some of you, and this is really what this is about, and thank you for your patience up until this point for the more practical people. But you're all, the thing about this, Pisces, why I love doing your readings? I don't have to worry about kind of compartmentalizing different aspects, because Pisces is all the 12 zodiac signs in one. So sometimes with these other signs, I'm always like trying to compartmentalize and explain things. With you, I just have to remember, Pisces, you are going to understand what I'm saying. Once again, I never get the feeling that things are going over your head in this reading. With other signs, I'm always like, okay, this is what this means. Let me figure the analogy out. For some of you, for most of you, there's going to be a new career opportunity in some sort of foreign state, foreign city, foreign land. And it also could be a soulmate tied up to this opportunity. Whether it's a creative thing or whether it's immediately both creative and going to help you logically with financial matters. You have the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Pentacles, Pisces. You've been building up to this for a long time. This is your readings. I feel like on the one hand, like I've had to be a little bit of like a motivational speaker for you, which I don't mind doing because I'm good at it. But you have the Four of Wands. There's some sort of rite of passage you're going through, or there's some sort of soul family member that you're going to be dealing with. And it's for a lot of you, it's related to this business. There could be a mix of, there could be some soul coming into your life that's really going to help you elevate yourself in the financial world, or they're going to give you an opportunity to live somewhere else or work somewhere else. For some of you, I'm getting this really weird message of someone is going to say, hey, come work here and I'll give you an apartment where you don't have to pay rent. Or there's going to be a unique opportunity for you to make money. And also, Pisces, there's also going to be people around you who are going to help you beat your addictions. Why? Or help you become more healthy. Why? The Ace of Pentacles, Pisces, is improving health. And I get that for a lot of you, there's going to be improving health. Like even if you stay status quo, for some of you, you keep drinking, you keep smoking, your health is still going to improve because of something spiritual. But you can really double down on it. So now, it gets a little bit dicey. I think there's something, honestly, Pisces, that it's either related to this or not. In what you don't see coming, it's a little bit dicey, Pisces, and I feel like it has to do with that Nine of Wands and your opportunity. You have the Five of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords, and you also have the Five of Swords here. For a lot of you, we're shifting gears into love now. For a lot of you, there's someone that you're very upset with in love. For a lot of you, you could feel there's someone around you who burned you. For someone, you could feel like there's someone who, like, you're very hurt with the fact that they're choosing to spend time with someone else. I am getting that in love for a lot of you. And this isn't what you don't see coming, Pisces. Okay, so for a lot of you, this is a separate issue than the issue that we just spoke about. It's completely separate. For others of you, it's not. And for others of you, there could be this feeling of it's going to start off really good in this opportunity and then it goes south. I'm not getting that for a lot of you actually, so I don't want to put that out there. What I'm getting is there's a pre-existing situation. Nine of Wands in someone who's been in your life, someone who's been holding on by a thread, someone who you have love for, it's probably good, but you know it's like the Five of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Swords. I feel like you're going to be very upset about mistreatment in love. Okay, this could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a lover. But there's something about like, why is the resources going to someone else? Why are they getting the attention? And it doesn't make any sense to you. So be prepared for that. And it could really lead to an ending. And depending on how conscious you are will determine how this goes. When it comes to your advice, you have the Death card, you have the Eight of Wands, and you have the Five of Pentacles here, Pisces. So the advice from Spirit is really take action to end something that you feel is off. And this has to do with beyond the head, beyond the mind, the heart beats. It has to do with that for some of you. For others of you, it has to do with this existing relationship that's coming to an end. Communicate that, hey, this is now done. Okay? This is now done. Now, for others of you, this has to do with getting out of a lifeline where you're living in your head. And it has to do with embracing the difficulties that come with living from your heart. Because it's always more difficult in the beginning, Pisces. And with that Five of Pentacles here in your advice, you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles in your overall general energy. A lot of you here, in order to really start living from the heart and getting out of the head, there may be a period where you feel ostracized from people, right? When you finally start seeing the true you and you don't, go along with people's weird jokes anymore. Like you're not laughing to make them feel better, or you just own yourself, and this could be something about you start to really feel like you're not part of a tribe anymore. But then that's because there's new people that are actually meant for you coming in, Pisces. Now the Five of Pentacles here as well is like, it goes back to me being in college and me realizing that my mind is going to say like, dude, you're going to end up in poverty, dude. Like, dude, like this is really bad. Other people telling me, dude, you're going to get smashed in the streets. Now here's me 4 years later in a luxury villa saying, yeah, smash me then. And that's kind of like, you need that kind of like wacky heart. Nothing but heart, Pisces. And the heart needs a challenge. Whatever the universe is telling you to burn the boats and for some of you, the universe really is telling you, Pisces, put yourself in a difficult situation and you'll be surprised how much your heart lights up and how much you feel alive and how much you can then tap into other areas of yourself. Because Pisces, let me tell you right now, when I was in college, I was an absolute pussy. I was a bitch. I was a little person who didn't know my inner strength. I was a person who let other people make choices for me my whole life. I was a person who didn't know the strength that lied within me. And basically what I'm telling you is there's a whole other part of yourself that you're about to get introduced to if you can listen to your heart right now. And are you going to have some scrapes? Are you going to have, maybe you don't know where your next meal is going to come from. For others of you, it's less extreme. You don't know how, whatever. It's like, this is where you're at, Pisces, and it's like, there's a vision. You ever seen the movie Troy? You ever see the movie Troy where Brad Pitt is like riding on the horse and he's like talking to the little boy in the village, and like he's like the boy's like, well, why do you go to war? Why do you listen to your heart, and why do you do all that? And like he's like, I would never do that. You're crazy. And then like Brad Pitt just like looks at him and he's like, and that's why no one will remember your name. And then he like rides off. So with you're not even, who cares if you get screwed in the physical? You're spiritual anyway. Like that's what's happening here. Like there's something about like, even if you die on your quest to open your heart, even if you die, even if you fail, it's better than not trying. But you're not going to fail. You're not going to fail. If you fully commit. If you're halfway, I will spit you out of my mouth like that's a Bible quote. This is intense. That's full, so I mean, I'm not like just tripping off the Red Bull. Let's go ahead and start clarifying some of these cards. Now, let's clarify the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is clarified with the Seven of Cups. Yeah, conflict between the heart and mind. Illusions. You finally having to confront this. The Four of Cups. For a lot of you, this has to do with letting go of that relationship where you feel screwed over, where you feel like, why is this person not being true to me? You also have the Ten of Pentacles here. So for a lot of you, this has to do with your legacy. Once again, I just channeled Troy, and no one will remember your name. Like, there's something about you having to really look at, like, what is my legacy going to be when I tune into my heart? It's going to be amazing when you tune into the heart, when you unite the heart with the head. Now, for others of you, this has to do with someone that's been a really cornerstone to your life. This is going to be a person. This is going to be Pisces. This is going to be someone who you're letting go of finally, because there's new people coming into your life. Remember, you have the Four of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Pentacles in your overall general energy. So there's new people coming in, but first you have to clear the space. I am getting that for some of you. Others of you, wow. Others of you, you're dealing with something, you're dealing with a lifeline of some sort of institution, right? For me, it was college. For you, it could be whatever. Ten of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is like, once again, you're on some sort of like lifestyle that could be comfortable, but it's not true, and it's causing you to have a bunch of coping mechanisms. And it was weird, I channeled a thing about I started smelling beer. I started smelling, like I literally smelled a whole beer, like as if it was right in front of my face when I was pulling the energy in the beginning. And the opportunity with the Four of Cups is put down the drink, you fuck. You know what I mean? Put down the beer, kid. You know, don't take it, okay? You know what I mean? It's that simple. But some of you, there's only one beer left. Okay, you know. Let's clarify the Six of Swords in your challenge. For some of you, once again, the challenge with the Six of Swords is burning the boats. Okay, burning the boats is something that warriors used to do in order to conquer foreign lands. And basically, if they left their boats at shore, they could always retreat to the boats and be like, you know what, like, basically, let's pussy out. Or, but if you arrive at a foreign land and then you step onto the foreign land and you burn the boats that basically got you to the foreign land, and those boats are gone, well, now it's kill or be killed. Now it's, if we don't conquer, we're dead. So, and then when you put yourself in that situation, your brain is going to figure shit out that otherwise you wouldn't have. It's the same idea about if you lose your vision, or if you lose your hearing, or if you lose whatever, other senses are going to come online, right? That's why, like, some of the greatest piano people are, like, deaf, or like some of the greatest tarot readers are what? Autistic. Okay. That's actually it. Yeah. Let's clarify it. Oh my God. I feel like these Pisces readings could literally be 4 hours, by the way. The Six of Cups, the Six of Swords in your challenge is clarified by the Five of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and also the Knight of Pentacles here. For a lot of you, there's going to be like, you need to get out of somewhere because you're sad. For a lot of you, this has nothing to do with the burning boats analogy, and this has to do with just more practical, like, okay, like, the town, the city, the state you're living in, the country that you're living in literally feels horrible. And your challenge is you need to find a way to slowly develop a plan to leave, okay? It may not happen in May. You need to slowly develop a plan to say, how am I going to get myself out of here? That's more practical. For others of you, definitely is in alignment with putting yourself in a situation it feels like too much to handle, right? When the warriors arrived on the beach and they burned the boats, how do you think they felt? They felt exactly like this. Oh my God, I'm pretty much probably going to die. oh my God, this is way too much for me to handle, but you know what? We better take a methodical approach to this or else we're dead. So with that being said, I'm going to actually conclude this reading because I feel that this is when Spirit's telling me to conclude it. So with that being said, cheers to you, Pisces, but put down the beer, you fuck. I'll talk to you next time. Peace.